we both, of course, are getting a little older in the industry, and our time with our kids has really become more important to us, I think, today than it was. And how do you balance the family and going out and do that on weekends? How do you do that today compared to 10 years ago?
That's a great question, and a lot of it boils down to prioritization, time management, and the realization that with what I do, for many people who may know me or don't know me, my profession as a DJ, it is part-time. I do work a corporate 9 to 5, so that's anywhere from 45 to 50 hours per week. DJing is anywhere from 20 to 35 hours per week. And we have let's see here, a 6 foot by 3 foot whiteboard in our hallway, and we document where each person in our family is going to be at. And so we take a look at it. We've got my daughter's in dance. Actually, my oldest daughter's in dance. My son is in trap shooting. He's in cross country and trap. My youngest daughter is in traveling soccer and volleyball and piano lessons. You throw in confirmation, throw in youth night at church, the family activities, and it's communication with the family. And there are some blackout dates on our calendar. When I put on the calendar, we take a look at spring breaks. There's no gigs booked. Summer vacations, we take a block of time where I don't book any shows, and that's where having referral network comes into play. So if I'm booked, I don't want to, some people say I got to book it. It's money. It's like, no, I don't have to book it. You have to have the ability to say no, and it creates, people can appreciate that. Say, you know what, I'm booked. However, here are some opportunities for you to refer business to other peers,
right?
And hope, in theory, that business will come back to you. But it is a delicate balance. I know at times, my wife can be, rather frustrated because I'm gone, 3 weekends a month, so it's 6 to 7 days a week that I'm gone. However, in the big picture of things, the time that you have together, don't waste it. Don't just sit on the couch and just zone out watching TV. Spend the time with your kids where you can say, it's something simple, a little bit of yard work. Maybe it's just a simple conversation. Go to all the band concerts, go to the choir concerts. If they're in drama, head to the plays. Support them in everything that they do, because that means a lot to them. And so that it takes time. It can be a stressor. And I guess one thing that really helps is that there are 4 families in the market here that I get together with every month. So there's Mike Anderson, Bill Herman, Jason Jones, and myself. We get together with our spouses, and we're able to talk. And because each of us has a unique perspective in DJ business, the guys will talk about some DJing. Our wives may talk stuff that's not about DJing. However, over time, we find ourselves talking about a common subject, and that kind of helps break through some of the barriers. We can talk about our gigs, and we can get that out of our system, and then we can talk about more about our families, because ultimately, that's what matters. Because when we have our exit plan and our business plan, say how are we going to get out of this business, then we can fall back on the friendships and realize that we had a great run at it. It's time to pass the torch. And we still have our kids can appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. That's a very important way to prioritize and really make that time. And it is tough to have the business going and spend that time. But
it is.
When you say just to take advantage of just those little moments, I think is so critical. And you see some of our DJ friends on Facebook and such where they are doing and putting up pictures of things that would be almost kind of silly because they're just so every day, but yet they're taking those moments and they're making them special with their children. I think that's really good.
It's a big thing. You have the premise is to be here now. So in terms of as a very simple example, I'm here now with you. My attention's focused on you in this interview. You take that with your family, take that with your children, take that with your significant other, and say you be there now. Listen to them, talk to them, and not just kind of listen to them, and having your phone say, yes, honey, got it, honey. Yep, I know what you're saying. No, you actually, it's eye contact, it's truthful, honest communication, and that really makes an impact. It helps survive the times where there are wedding seasons that when you're not home. And they can be very frustrated with that, but you have to take that moment of time and cherish it.
And then when you mention wedding season and when we're busy running with that, it is a stressful time on our spouses that sometimes we just overlook because we work during the week, we go to our weddings, come Sunday we're tired, and they're like, where's my time?
Right, exactly. You know, in our family, Wednesday night is our busy night. And the reason is I've got a couple kids that are in youth night at church, so we've got confirmation youth night as well as dance night. And if my wife is, and I also belong to the National Association of Catering Events. They meet the first Wednesday of the month. So one night a month, my wife is a single parent shuttling 3 kids around to different activities, and say, you know what, I apologize, okay, but we know it's on the board the first Wednesday of every month.
It's crazy.
It's a busy night. I'm sorry. I'll pick up a Diet Mountain Dew for you on the way home to apologize. It may not seem like a lot, it may seem silly, but you know what? If you know your significant other and what it takes to maintain a happy wife is a happy life.
Yeah, and it's important.